Today, we're going to introduce the culmination of 3 years of research and development in the E&E complete electric system with all the components required to build a full electric assembly line. Today, we're going to give you the overview, and then we're going to give you the individual components in subsequent videos. 3 years ago, we sat down with the big three and several of the tier 1 suppliers. They gave us a wish list of what they wanted in their electric components. We've essentially completed everything on the wish list. Let's go over the wish list real quick. First, 24 volt DC was preferred because 24 volt DC exists in almost every tool already, and it's very safe to work with. Secondly, they wanted these configurations to be switch to switch with visual verification, just like if they were pneumatic. One of the other concerns was drifting. Many components that are made with ball screws or other types of configurations will drift if they have loads on them and the electricity's turned off. All these components will not drift. Another major concern in the big wish list was the ability for it to be simple. So if I had to replace a motor or any component on here, that we wouldn't have to do any reprogramming of anything. The maintainability was also a significant issue. So all of these components are able to have the motors and cables replaced, and they don't come apart. So each of those items is isolated from the rest of the component. They need to be cost effective, NAMS compatible, and it was important that the units be able to run with the existing PLCs. So they had to have a bridge to Ethernet IP and Profinet. This, of course, was the biggest barrier to keeping the cost down. Through a lot of effort between E&E, developing the components, and Intech Controls doing all the programming, we have been able to address the entire wants and needs list that was given to us 3 years ago. One thing I want you guys to notice is that we've moved this demo inside during office hours to make it. That's how quiet these components are. We have 8 components running at the same time, all with different strokes, different motions, and I can still talk over it. So the heart of this system is the electronic valve stack. The electronic valve stack is a combination of many years of work between E&E and Intech Controls. So we have CAN open going in and out of this block, and we have Ethernet IP going in and out of this block. So when I plug in my Ethernet IP, it takes over for the CAN open. Previously in the section, this CAN open PLC was running the entire demo. Now we're going to go to a Rockwell PLC. Okay, inside this box we have a standard Rockwell PLC, a standard Rockwell HMI, and a little power supply that you may or may not need depending on whether you have resident 24 volt. So now we're going to run the same demo completely off of Ethernet IP. So here's our HMI screen. We can run in auto mode. We can switch to manual mode, and then we can run any of these components individually. We can also jog the components. so we don't have to go full stroke. So these programs are all Ethernet IP. So in effect, in the Rockwell PLC, the Rockwell PLC doesn't know whether this component has an air cylinder or a motor, because the program is the same. And this was one of the big wants of everybody that came in to give me their wish list. And we've been able to accomplish it, and it works real nice. Many people ask, why go to electric? Well, there's a couple of main reasons. First is efficiency. This is our 50 series clamp equivalent. This would cost you about $280 a year to run on compressed air 2 shifts a day. Electrically, this costs you about 9 cents. This is a standard shot pin, 63 bore cylinder. Here you're looking at a 50 stroke, and to run this for a year is going to cost you about $380. To do it electrically with the same force and the same speeds is going to cost you about 20 cents. The second thing is safety. If this were a pneumatic clamp and I stopped it somewhere in the center of the stroke, it's going to fall to wherever gravity takes it. Same thing with the shot pin if it's got a heavy load on it, or an air cylinder if it's got a heavy load on it. All these electric components are instant e-stop, and they're 100% zero stored energy compliant, so they will never drift. You can leave it here till next month, next year, and it'll still be in the same place. When you start it back up, it'll either rehome itself to where you told it to go, or it will continue in its cycle as whatever you have it programmed to do. Coming up, the first video is going to be on this amazing electric clamp, which is also a full Geo 4-way locator in every single one. It has significantly higher load capacity and radial load capacity than a pneumatic clamp, and it's going to last longer. Second thing we're going to do is shot pins and lockout pins, and the third upcoming video is going to be all the components that we can convert to electric by using our electric ISO cylinder. Look forward to seeing you shortly with all these individual product videos. If you'd like me to bring this amazing demonstration to your facility with all of these durable products, please click on the schedule an appointment link that will come up now.